few weeks ago I made a video of an outdoor kit that I made solely from items bought from the pound shop, but one important item that I said was missing that you couldn't get from the pound shop was a knife. But since then they have actually started stocking a few different knives, so I bought a couple of them and thought I'd just do a follow-up video showing these and giving a bit of a review of them. The first one I saw in there that I got is this one here, and as you can see it's quite small, but I think it makes a reasonably good EDC knife for an urban area. You know, if you live in a big town or city and you maybe don't need a larger, hardier knife that you'd need out in a more rural area, this is quite a handy one to have to carry around with you. It's less conspicuous. I don't think it's going to raise as many eyebrows if you flick it out to, you know, cut some packaging open or whatever you're going to use it for. It is pretty much, you know, just a small box cutter knife, but it feels quite sturdy. You get you get 4 of these blades with it, which you can turn around and use both ends, so that's basically 8 blades to use. And if you're thrifty like me, you can sharpen the blades as well once they're blunt, so you don't have to just throw them away straight away. So I think for £1 that's quite handy. It doesn't come with this key ring, but if you want, you know, I put this little one on here and you could just have it attached to your keys even. It has a locking mechanism. Now I bought one of these for my father, and on his one the locking mechanism works well, it works tightly, but on my one the locking mechanism, you know, you can easily flip the blade down without having to press on the unlock part of the locking mechanism. So I'm not really sure if I could technically get away with this not being a locking blade knife, which is illegal to carry in the UK, but I don't think you'd get in too much trouble just carrying one of these around with you because of the size of it and because the lock doesn't really work on it, so you might get away with it not being classed as a locking blade. So I quite like that little knife, even though it wouldn't be any use really, you know, if you're out camping. It's not a knife that's hardy enough for that sort of thing. Now the second knife they had in there is this multi-function camping knife, you know, a Swiss Army knife style. And once again, it's only £1, and you pretty much do get what you pay for with this. Now first off, I'll list all the things that it has on it. There's a bottle opener, scissors, corkscrew, nail file, screwdriver, eyelet needle, braid awl, 2 saws, can opener, knife, and a posy screwdriver. Not quite sure what it means by posy screwdriver, but anyway, the scissors don't stay down in it, on mine at least. They keep popping out, which is a real pain in the backside. I mean, I'm not going to put that in my pocket because I don't want the scissors constantly sticking out. I don't want to sit down and get that sticking into my thigh or somewhere worse. So that's a bit of a pain. Now you could take the spring bit out of the scissors so that they don't pop out, but even then I think if you hold it upside down it's still going to fall out a bit because it just doesn't fit in there tightly. So that's one of my biggest problems with this. Also, on these attachments here, sometimes they're tight, and sometimes once you flick them out, when you put them back in, they don't fit tightly, and then they start to hang down and stick out, which once again, the last thing you need is to put this in your pocket with a blade sticking out of each end of it. So it is something that you definitely need to leave in your bag. I wouldn't want this in my pocket. Also, these, see that wobbling around in there? It's not very sturdy, wiggling around all over the place. So I'm not necessarily surprised or dismayed by this because it was only £1 out of the pound shop, so I didn't expect any better. But just, I don't know if it's even worth buying this at all. You might as well save up some money. You know, for £5 you could get one that's far better than this. So heck, you know, you might as well just skip this and get a better one. You know, all of those attachments there, really loose. The knife blade though isn't loose, so if you're not really too concerned about the other parts and just wanted a cheap knife out of there, knife blade's not too bad. It's not particularly sharp when you get it, but it's not terribly blunt either, but it's not that good. See the saw blades, even though I'm sure that's actually more for filleting fish. On the label it classes that as a secondary saw. The first saw, which isn't particularly sharp either. I've tried to sharpen it up a bit, but I still think it would be quite hard work using that to cut anything. Scissors, not too bad, not great. Then got your bottle opener and screwdriver. Tin opener, sorry, isn't sharp at all. And I find this is a problem with a lot of multi-tools. I think especially the cheaper ones, is the tin openers are never very sharp, and it makes it so much harder work if the tin opener isn't sharp. You know, I like that to be, that point there to be nice and sharp, so I can easily get it in the tin, easily open it up. You're not going to end up spilling half of what's in the tin everywhere. You know, when I'm out camping, I don't want a load of tomato juice or oil or whatever out of a tin of, you know, tuna or spaghetti or beans or whatever all over my hands. It's just a pain, and it's a waste of my water to have to clean it up. So I wouldn't recommend this multi-tool. No, it's completely come out now. It's just too awkward and flimsy, and it's not very good. But the little box opener, if you feel that you'd have a need for a small knife like that, I would recommend that. I do think that's a nice little knife. So anyway, I hope this has been informative to anyone out there who was thinking about getting a budget kit out of Poundland.